Hey, what a great team up there. Thank you, guys. Good. So, coming back from our break here, going to talk about securing growth and boosting your scale-up or startup with the right people. With that, I'm going to give the microphone to Cornee Boorsma. Please come on up. And my role is finished here.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining this session, where we're going to speak about, on one side, security, as you can see in the title, and also the right people. How that relates to us, SAP, I hope that by the end of this session that will be clear as well. And to be a little bit more specific about SAP, and you might have seen the booth upstairs as well, we are here presented with a specific program called Grow with SAP for Scaleups. Many of you might have the perception that SAP is only for big companies, large enterprises as we call them. But the proof is actually, and that's what I want to share with you as well, together with 2 customers, that we are also relevant for smaller companies, and specifically for scale-ups. Because what we see is that scale-ups are developing in a relatively rapid pace the same requirements on certain areas where business processes are super relevant. And that's where we can support with our solutions. So without further ado, I would like to call on stage 2 of our valuable customers, Maxime from Top Turnover and Philippe from Athesia. Give them a hand of applause, please. Please get seated and take the mic. And maybe it's good to start off with a very quick introduction from your side, Maxime, to the audience.
Thank you, Cornee, and hello, everyone. So really pleased to be there. Thanks for the invitation, SAP also. Thanks, Cornee. So my name is Maxime. So I co-founded a startup called TOP, T-O-P, with Amin, who is doctor in machine learning. So we are working on our SaaS since almost 3 years now. So in fact, we started when AI was not a buzzword and still evolving. So now we have some customers and it's going on. So what we do, we stop. In fact, we have a predictive AI. So you heard a lot of generative AI. So talking about ChatGPT, Mistral AI, and so on. But we're not talking about this family of AI. We're talking about the second family of AI, which is not really known until now, but you will hear about it, which is predictive AI. And we are mainly working in predictive AI in the HR environment, which is a bit also special. And what we do, in fact, we predict the turnover in the company, and we support the big customers mainly to retain people better thanks to predictive AI. So this is a new approach in the world. And we are quite alone in France and Europe, but our competitors are abroad, so yeah.
Okay, so the turnover has nothing to do with revenue as such, because some people might recognize turnover in terms of revenue, but it's about people leaving your company.
Exactly.
And the value you bring is the risk of people leaving and the cost associated with that.
Yeah, we identify the risk per employee, and we also give advice based on machine learning to give the good supporting action to the managers or to the HRBP, depending of the politics of the company, to retain people better. And it works. So it's only the beginning of the technology, but it's on its way now.
Okay, and maybe in terms of numbers, how big is your company in terms of employees?
Yeah, we are more comfortable around thousands of employees, of course. Of course, we have also smaller customers because this is the beginning, but we work for big companies in bank, insurance, right now in France also, which was not easy because there is a really social things in France, also reputational aspect to explain, to build. And so on. So bank, insurance, energy now, and also starting in the defense industry area next month. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Over to you, Philippe. Can you please do the same introduction about yourself as well, your company?
Hello, so it's Philippe, the founder and CEO of Athesia. I'd like to thank you for the invitation to attend this session. Athesia is a relatively recent company since it has been founded end of 2020. We are specializing on cybersecurity solutions with regards to first protect as much as we can users, identities, networks, infrastructure, along with data, And the specificity of Ateja is that we are unifying cybersecurity on a network, on a framework. Sorry about that. On a framework with regards to deliver use cases. So it's not only solutions. Some customers are asking for solutions because they know what they need or what they want. Most of them have no clue whatsoever on what do they need to implement this or this use case, such as, I would say, network protection along with identity access and this kind of stuff. So we are developing this framework that unifies all the solutions below.
And what is the size of your companies in terms of employees?
So we have two different targets, I will say. Abroad, so namely in Asia Pacific, Africa, and Latin America, we are working with large telecom providers along with governments. And in France and Europe, the market is slightly different for now. So we are working with MSSP, so service providers, cybersecurity companies that are delivering the services by leveraging our tools. And in terms of target, it's anywhere between SME, SMBs, up to large conglomerates in Asia, especially because the telcos have a big market share on the enterprise segment. So they can leverage our solutions either by delivering the solution to their large customers or providing solution as a service or platform as a services for SMBs.
So what I said in my introduction is that I wanted to bring two smaller companies on stage to prove that we're not just for the large enterprises. I think you shared both what type of customers you are serving, but bringing it back to your own company, maybe Maxime, how many people do you have on your payroll? What's the size of your company?
On our payroll, we are quite a lot, in fact. We are 15, but shared also internationally because we have a competence center, a development center in Tunisia, near France. And the other part of the team is in France. So, but we have international ADN. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Philippe?
No, we are tiny. We have a wide offer. I keep saying we have a dwarf on the market in terms of number of people. It's also a will on my side not to have a big headcount. And that's why we picked SAP as well, to automate as many processes as possible. But we are more or less 10 people, 10 to 15 people, because we have a lot of people abroad that are acting for Ateja as well. But 10 to 15 people, it's not big for now. And it will never be big. I mean, we'll try to keep the headcount as low as possible.
Because you automated everything as in your backend. Okay.
Yeah, that's the point.
The hot topic, I think also last year, but it will remain for this year on events like this, is of course AI. What is your view, Philippe, on this one in regards of cybersecurity? Because those things are not disconnected, right?
So, it's a pretty tricky question, I will say. I apologize if I'm not politically correct. AI is a great tool. It has to be managed very carefully, especially on cybersecurity. So we are leveraging AI mainly for process automation, but we are keeping it for now. I'm not saying it won't come later on, but for now, we are keeping it away from the actual cybersecurity expertise approach. I mean, AI is very good for some stuff in terms of threat detection, fine, but it cannot be the center of the solution. Human needs to remain very present. So we are really using and we are developing a very specific project that I cannot mention on AI. But for now, we are very careful about putting AI as the center of cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you. And you mentioned already the type of customers you're serving, like governments, big corporates, MSPs. Is it relevant for smaller SaaS companies as well to think about cybersecurity eventually from day one when they are building and growing their company as well building their solution?
Yeah, basically the approach of Ateja is quite, I will say, if I may say that, unique. Any solution or any use case can suit any type or size of company. We have different level of or different means of delivery. We are delivering over the SaaS, so over the network. We have a strategic partnership with another company, not to deliver our solutions on public internet, but across MPLS networks, which is much, much more secured. And it doesn't impact the cost. So even smaller SaaS companies that needs to protect their clouds, their instances, their users, it's very cost effective, and I hope it's very efficient. So yeah, it really covers all the scope from SMEs to large companies, governments, fine, but also the SaaS industry.
And for now, the last question to you. Where will Athesia be? You're relatively small, working with a lot of contractors, but you want to keep the headcount relatively low. Where will Athesia be in 5 years from now?
So it's really a balance. I think when you automate properly things like HR, for example, okay, and you manage to keep people happy, and you have a very strong HR policy when it comes to who do I pick, how I remain, or how I keep these people, and having a full automation. In 5 years from now, if we are 100, it will be already big. It's going really to depend on the expansion, international business expansion. Right now, we are present in Asia and in Africa, not across all countries. So in Asia, we have 3 countries. In Africa, 4. We are focusing recently, since the last 6 months, on France, and it's not the same. I think 100 people with all the very specific, I will say, ways we are working with partners, we won't need so many people. 100 will be already a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. Over to you, Maxime. You've built your solution, as you explained in your introduction, with AI, which is a core component of the predictive capabilities that your solution has. How does regulation affect the way you've built it?
Well, first of all, it's important to understand that there are not so many players in pure AI. I mean, there are not a lot of companies developing their own AI. Nowadays, there are a lot of companies building interfaces with AI solution, with Gen AI solution, and so on, and using their models, their large models, to do many things. In Top, we developed our own predictive AI, which is important, and we started like this. We say, okay, let's see how it goes and how it works, this predictive AI, and we saw that it could work, so it was starting to work. Now it works. But at the same time, we got some message on invitation from the French government, from the Ministry of Work, from the OCDE, some visits from the French Army, and so on. So we just figured out that, okay, we are touching something and we are going in a way totally new, and we need to open also our doors and collaborate, communicate, and understand also where we are going. So we are still on our way. But we really believe that it's a part of the future of work, and what we develop in Top will be a game changer in some years, because everything takes some time. It's not a story of 2 to 3 years. I think it's a story of 5 years, 6 years to be totally on the market and also abroad. And we also study a lot what's going on abroad, because our competitors are in US, Canada. These markets are really on top also. On this type of product, Israel also, and on this. So we need to develop and to follow our development as a European company, French company, to do ethical AI also. It's important things, and to become a good model of AI.
Thank you. Can you also share a little bit about your go-to-market strategy? Because if I listen well to your solution, you require third-party data to feed the model and to do this magic, basically, that you've built with your own AI model. So how does that influence your go-to-market?
It is a story of a lot of SaaS solutions. One of the keys is to be interfaced with as much as other SaaS systems. And mainly for us, because we are talking about HR, we need to interconnect our SaaS with main HCM systems, such as SAP, and we will be published on the SAP stores next month, also partnering with other editors. But we need good data in volumes to work properly. And so this, as a go-to-market, really important point also when you do SaaS as a disruptive product, because it's really particular. The story is marketing. So we work with a PR company we do a lot of communication in France, abroad, on this, and this is really time-consuming, but investment also to explain to the HR environment how what's AI, what's predictive AI, how it works, and so on and so on. So it's a lot of energy on this point, and also on the product, of course. And after it goes, but it's a story of time.
And what learnings can you share to the audience when it comes to building your own AI, embedding it into your solution, and maybe then linking it also to the regulation, because that seems to be a quite hot topic nowadays as well?
Yeah, so find the good people in terms of tech, because really people who know how to develop AIs are not really common, even if the technology now allowed to develop AI, such as product as Hugging Face and so on. So it's democratizing now. But yeah, find the good people is always the really strong aspect. And also about the law, the evolution of the law, because now the main base in terms of law to develop AI is RGPD, which was in fact at the beginning a French norm. RGPD comes from France, and now it's a model in the world. So that's I think a good thing also for the French AI to become a model in the future. And so now we are controlled by RGPD, by the CNIL in France, CNIL, which is a part of the French government, to control what we do with the personal data. And the CNIL just launched a new service called SIA, which is the service taking care about all the programs of AI in France, collaborating with the European Union. You heard maybe about the AI Act, and it was voted really a few times ago, and now by 2026 they will adapt this to the French market and any other European market. So we are already preparing our solution to be audited. We have a view in top to follow the ethical of our solution, to see the force of the algorithm on the population, and so on and so on. We will need to get a certification, EU CE norms also on this type of soft, and so on and so on. So there are many things, and be sure that the state and the European Union is really taking care of it for good, I think. But at the same time, you know, it's on its way. So I think it's okay.
Thank you very much. One of the reasons, as I mentioned before as well, is that both of you are our customers, relatively small customers compared to the general perception that a lot of people have. Philippe, what was the moment that you considered, hey, I need to basically invest into this area of, call it, better business processes to get them under control, and with that securing your growth, as an example?
So basically, there were several points to be taken into consideration. First one is that Asia is a French European sovereign company. Also, we are sovereign here. We are selling neutrality abroad for each of our customers which are not part of EU to regain sovereignty as per choice. Okay, so we needed a solution even in the back office that was European. Then the second consideration I looked at was our customers or our partners are large telcos. These people are very complex to manage when it comes to financial models. They have a lot of different offers, and SAP was matching all the boxes with regards to later on. So we took it early stage, but I knew why. Because later on, I knew we will have to adjust our overall delivery process, and not only activation, provisioning, but also all the financial processes to match our customers without having to spend too many people and too much time and money at even triggering an invoice. So this was also part of the thinking. And the third point, I will say, I checked, and if I had to do the same that what we are doing right now with SAP, I will have needed maybe 4 to 6 solutions. And these 6 or 4 solutions will have to be integrated and will not necessarily match each other when it goes to APIs, to real needs and models we need to implement. And this dictated the choice I made to go with SAP.
Maxime, over to you. as again, the perception only for large enterprises. You mentioned the number of people on your side, a small company. When was it for you relevant to get SAP in place, as you already have a kind of relationship with us, right?
So yeah, in fact, yeah, I come from the SAP environment also, so I did not really have the choice, kind of. But no, to speak frankly about the SAP offer, even for startup, I also manage a SAP partners company, integrator, since 10 years. And we also address startups on this side, working for pharmaceutical startups, telco startups, and so on. And now, moreover, with the new offer of SAP, which is a SAP ERP cloud, public cloud or private cloud, it's much more convenient, cost-effective. You have the full suite of required solutions, as Philippe said. Easy to start, not a really long time to settle, and it's scalable. And just be aware and understand that when you build a business, you need to start with a good best practices, good process, good integration between your services, and to manage a company, to have the good data, the good KPI. So, and SAP is in the world the best solution to do this. When you develop a company which need to be big, you need to work with the right tools, and SAP is the one, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you both very much. Some closing words from my side. Two companies, small companies in different industries. One is in cybersecurity, the other one a little bit closer to, well, HR. And that's what we see across Europe in general. We see different industries where Scaleups and also SaaS is part of many of these industries is relevant. And especially when you want to achieve your growth, of course, with the right people and in a secure way, and these companies can definitely help you there. But it's key to focus on having the right structure to make sure that you can grow internationally, because that's mainly the trigger that we see if you want to expand beyond France. So you build your product in France, but now you want to go to, well, Switzerland, maybe from a language perspective, an easy one. But on the other side, maybe Germany, the Netherlands, or UK, which is a big market. You need to make sure that you have the right back office, and that might sound boring, but you need to make sure that you have that in place before you actually start that journey. And I hope that the stories from Philippe and Maxime help you to understand why they went with us in that journey, as well the value they bring as a SaaS company. So give them a big hand of applause, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thanks.